ठीक है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, वो रिकॉर्डिंग होने से मतलब है. Okay, so now just write down the next chapter, that is census and sample method of collection of data. So write down, there are some of the definitions which we have to write, and we have to understand that what is census and sample and all these things. Census and sample method of collection of data. नहीं ठीक है, जाने दीजिए, कैमरा इधर उधर हो जाएगा. Okay, census and sample method of collection of data. So just write down the very first approach. The very first approach for collecting the data. The very first approach for collecting the data is called census method. Is called census method. Is called census method. And the second approach is called sample method. And the second approach is called sample method. Now, actually, there are a number of terminologies which we have to write to understand the whole concept of this data and all that. Write down the next terminology. Universe or the population refers to refers to an aggregate of items refers to an aggregate of items an items to be studied for investigation, to be studied for investigation. After that, write down the term population means the term population means aggregate of all items. The term population means the aggregate of all items about which we want to obtain information. About which we want to obtain information. After that, change the paragraph and write down the method of statistical inquiry. The method of statistical inquiry is divided into two parts. The method of statistical inquiry is divided into two parts. One is a census method. One is a census method, and another one is a sample method. One is a census method and another one is a sample method. Census method and sample method. So now when we are about to go for making a statistical inquiry, when we are about to go and make a search in any kind or related to any kind of study, like for example, in 2021 or 2022, there will be a lot of research which will come up on the COVID-19 impact. And I'm of the opinion that the COVID-19 impact has got two parts. One part is related with the health impact, health point of view, and the second part, which is, which has a long effect, which has a far-reaching impact, and this is the impact which will continue for a very longer period of time, called as economical effect. You know, very easily we can understand the economical effect, uh, in the sense that there are number of students who have not taken admission in class 11th. Okay, not in this school, rather, if you go and visit the number of schools in Azamgarh as well as in the UP and the different parts of India, so we will reach a conclusion that the parents are of the opinion that better we should move our children to some, the government schools and all those kind of schools, because of the reason that with this, strategy, or with this approach, we will be able to save our lot of money. We'll be able to save a lot of money, and especially if you go and make a study about the number of students who have continued their admission below 8th class, so you will find that there are a lot of students who have moved to the primary schools, who have moved to the different government schools, because of the reason that the parents, they understand that the impact of this COVID-19 will continue for whole of the year, and the school will not be continued in the offline mode, and there will be no physical classes. So they thought that better we should move our children to some primary or some, the government school, and next year again we'll just move them from that school to the previous one. Okay, so so actually what I was trying to say, that whenever we talk about, or whenever we make any kind of discussion related to a particular event that has happened in the past, so we cannot discuss that particular event without taking any strong assumption, without taking any strong data, without taking any strong report. It is not possible for us to give a oral conclusion. Okay, admit. Okay, so we cannot give a oral conclusion in 2021 or 2022 that what has happened in 2020. यानी 2020 में एक्चुअली क्या हुआ था, उसका मेडिकल इम्पैक्ट क्या था, उसका इकोनॉमिक इम्पैक्ट क्या था, ये सारी चीजों को समझाने के लिए हमें डेटा को रखना पड़ेगा सामने, यानी जिसको हम कहते हैं ना स्टैटिस्टिकल इंक्वायरी, वो स्टैटिस्टिकल इंक्वायरी हमको करनी पड़ेगी। यानी कहने का मतलब ये है कि अगर हम आजमगढ़ के ऊपर एक स्टडी कर रहे हैं तो बाकायदा हमको ये एक डेटा लेके आना पड़ेगा कि व्हाट हैज हैपेंड टू द स्कूल इन 2020. Let us assume that somebody is going to have a discussion. Okay, let us take assumption that if somebody is going to have a study of the impact of COVID-19 on the school, मान लेते हैं एक ऐसी स्टडी ली गई है कि भाई COVID-19 का स्कूल्स पे क्या इम्पैक्ट पड़ा, स्पेशली 2020 में, तो हम अगर आजमगढ़ को अपना एक स्टडी के लिए चूज कर रहे हैं कि हम आजमगढ़ पे अपनी की स्टडी रखेंगे, तो हम ऐसे नहीं कह सकते हैं कि ओके देयर आर 15-20 schools and the situation has become very worse, the dropout rate was very high, the parents, they have just moved their children from this school to that school. नहीं, rather we have to give some strong data also. हमें देना पड़ेगा कि फलां स्कूल में इतने बच्चे थे और यहाँ से उतने मूव कर गए, फलां स्कूल में इतने बच्चे थे यहाँ मूव कर गए। उसके साथ ही साथ हमें कुछ स्टैटिस्टिकल इंक्वायरी करनी पड़ेगी और ये फाइंड आउट करना पड़ेगा कि 2019-20 में गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स की क्या स्ट्रेंथ थी और 2020-21 में स्ट्रेंथ क्या पहुंच गई। हमें इस टाइप का कुछ मैथमेटिकल नंबर्स देने पड़ेंगे और मैथमेटिकल नंबर्स देने के बाद ही हम अपनी बात को बहुत स्ट्रांगली प्रूव कर सकते हैं। तो कहने का मेरा मतलब ये है कि whenever we are going to make any research, that research is incomplete without a concrete quantitative or mathematical numbers. And whenever we talk about quantitative or mathematical numbers, so for that very numbers there is a too much use of statistics. स्टैट्स का बहुत ज़्यादा यूज होता है। उसके जो टूल्स वगैरह हमने लास्ट टाइम थ्योरेटिकल बेसिस पे पढ़ा था कि बहुत सारे टूल्स होते हैं और बहुत सारी मेथोडोलॉजीज होती हैं जिसके थ्रू हम अपनी रिसर्च को या अपनी स्टडी को करते हैं। तो ये मेथड्स या फिर ये रिसर्चेज होती हैं जो हमारे लिए यूजफुल साबित होती हैं या फिर जिसके थ्रू हम अपने ऑब्जेक्टिव को अकम्प्लिश कर पाते हैं, अपने ऑब्जेक्टिव को हासिल कर पाते हैं। ठीक है। So statistical inquiry में one you have written the census method and another one is the sample method. Okay, so just write down the census method. What is census method? Census method is that method. Census method is that method okay. Census method is that method in which data are collected covering every item of the universe or population relating to the problem under investigation. Relating to the problem under investigation. Now, when we're talking about the census method, the very common name which we have heard under the census method is the census of India, which is related with the population. So, in the population, officer, a gazetted officer belonging to the government of India, he just visited to the different houses of particular colony and he just interact with the people, talk to the people, ask about the number of people who are a part of your family. So this is what you called as a census. Okay, the census. Okay, so in the census, the investigator who wants to investigate, he has to reach and he has to just find out, he has to count each and every people who are a part of that particular investigation. Okay, you cannot pick and choose. You cannot just go to, Sidhari and you reach to a particular mohalla and you out of the 50 or 100 families who are a part or 100 houses who are a part of that particular colony, you just visit to 10 houses and on the basis of 10 houses you just give a report of 100 houses. This is not possible in case of census method. In the census method you have to reach out to 100 houses and you have to just go visit each of the houses, talk to the people, find out the number of people who are a part of the family. Then only you can give the report. That means you have to reach one after another to individual person. Okay. Now we have to write about the suitability of census method. Suitability of census method. This particular method is suitable this particular method is suitable. So under which circumstances or under which cases this particular method is suitable? Point number 1, where size of population is small. Where size of population is small. Where size of population is small. See, if an investigator or enumerator is assigned a job of, to go and visit one after another, go and visit each houses or which are a part of Azamgarh, so it is not possible. Okay. So this method is obviously very helpful, very productive, very suitable also, but where the size of population is limited. It means that we cannot assign or we cannot give the responsibility of finding out the numbers to an individual man to go and check it out the 1 lakh houses of Azamgarh. It is not possible. However, we can give the responsibility to an individual man to go and check it out the particular mohalla. We can hire 20 people for Azamgarh and we can assign each individual person, each individual mohalla that you have to go and you have to visit 80 or 90 houses and you have to find out the number of people who are a part of a particular house. Okay, so in that very case it is possible. Otherwise, just assigning the duty to one particular person to go and visit the entire Azamgarh is not possible at all. Second, widely diverse item in the population. Write down, widely diverse item in the population. Widely diverse item in the population. Okay, so this particular method is very helpful in the case where you have a very wide population. Wide population का मतलब यहाँ पे हुआ कि जहाँ पे डाइवर्सिटी बहुत ज़्यादा है. अब IC आजमगढ़ में अगर आप देखोगे तो आप किसी मोहल्ले में जाओगे तो किसी तरीके का कल्चर पाओगे. यानी अगर इफ आई टॉक अबाउट द मुस्लिम कॉलोनीज तो आप एक मुस्लिम कॉलोनी में जाओगे तो आप कुछ और कल्चर पाओगे. किसी और में, जैसे मैं आपको एग्जांपल दे देता हूँ, आप मिल्लत नगर का नाम सुना होगा आपने, या रहमत नगर का नाम सुना होगा. आप रहमत नगर में जाओगे तो आपको एक अलग कल्चर दिखेगा. ठीक है. उसके बाद आप कोर्ट में चले जाइए तो आपको एक अलग कल्चर दिखेगा मुस्लिम्स के बीच में. उसके बाद आप जो है इधर बदरके की तरफ चले जाइएगा तो आपको अलग कल्चर दिखेगा. कल्चर एक जैसा नहीं दिखेगा, डिस्पाइट दे आर शेख खान और पठान और व्हाटएवर, लेकिन कल्चरल डाइवर्सिटी आपको बहुत दिखेगी उनके खानों में, उनके कपड़े पहनने में. इनफैक्ट इन आजमगढ़ आई हैव सीन दैट द पीपल दे हैव अ डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ क्लोथिंग स्टाइल व्हेन इट कम्स टू मैरिज. बहुत डिफरेंस होता है. छोटा सा आजमगढ़ है, मैंने खुद देखा है. मतलब कि आपको अपने घर की शादियों में दिखेगा कि लोगों ने किसी और तरीके का कपड़ा पहना है, लेकिन आई हैव सीन लॉट ऑफ पीपल बिलोंगिंग टू माय कम्युनिटी इन माय मोहल्ला, दे हैव अ डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ क्लोथ्स व्हिच दे आर वियरिंग ऑन द मैरिजेस. सेम गोज टू द अदर रिलीजन ऑल्सो. हिंदू कम्युनिटी में आ जाए तो वहां पे भी बहुत डाइवर्सिटी है. तो जहां पे डाइवर्सिटी बहुत लार्ज है, इन दैट वेरी केस द सेंसस मेथड इज वेरी हेल्पफुल. ओके, उसका रीजन क्या है बता सकते हैं? उसका रीजन क्या है, मतलब क्यों हम सेंसस मेथड को लेते हैं? फिर उसका रीजन ये है कि कॉमनैलिटी नहीं है. कॉमन रहता तब आप पिक कर सकते थे ना, लेकिन जहां पे आपको पता है कि हर दूसरा अलग है, हर चौथा अलग है, हर छठे में आपको डिफरेंस मिलने वाला है, तो दैट वेरी केस यू कैन नॉट पिक and choose 10 or 20 people. In that very case, you have to visit each and every one. Okay, write down third point. It has a high degree of accuracy and reliability. It has a high degree of accuracy and reliability. It has a high degree of accuracy and reliability. It has a high degree of accuracy and reliability. Okay, why it has a high degree of accuracy and reliability? Because of the reason that the investigator or the enumerator, he is being commanded that he should visit each and every individual. Okay, and when obviously if somebody is visiting each and every individual, so in that very circumstances, obviously the chances of result will be, very high that it will be correct, because of the reason that you are not leaving any individual. You are visiting each and every people who are a part of your study. Okay, so this is the suitability. This is how we can say that this particular method is suitable. Now write down the merits. Now we will talk about the merits of this census method, that what are the merits of this census method. So I'll just tell you the point. You just write down, after that I'll explain each and every point. So first one is the reliable and the accurate. Reliable and accurate. Reliable and accurate. Second one is less biased. Less biased. Less biased. बायस मीन्स क्या होता है? बायसनेस, फेवर करना, किसी का फेवर करना. ओके. थर्ड वन, स्टडी ऑफ डाइवर्स कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स. फोर्थ वन, एक्सटेंसिव इंफॉर्मेशन. एक्सटेंसिव इंफॉर्मेशन. Okay, so we will take just 4 points. That will be enough, more than enough. So the very first one is the reliable and accurate. Why it is very much reliable and accurate? Because of the reason that the investigator or the enumerator, he visited each and every individual and he tries to find out that what he or she has to say on this particular issue. Okay, so because of which we can say that there is a high chances or high degree of accuracy. Less biased. Why it is less biased? Because of the reason that we are not assuming anything from our own side. हम अज्यूम नहीं कर रहे हैं कुछ. हम ये नहीं कह रहे भाई 10 मोहल्ला, हम 10 घर विजिट किए तो बाकी मोहल्ले के 90 घर ऐसा ही सोचते होंगे. हम एक एक घर को जा रहे हैं, हम एक एक घर को फाइंड आउट कर रहे हैं. स्टडी ऑफ डाइवर्स कैरेक्टरिस्टिक. डाइवर्सिटी बहुत ज्यादा इसमें होती है. हम देखें तो यहाँ पे हम देखते हैं कि एक एक जगह पे एक एक तरीके के लोग, वेदर बिलोंगिंग टू एनी रिलीजन और कास्ट, ये विजिट किया जाता है. एक्सटेंसिव इंफॉर्मेशन, बहुत लार्ज लेवल पर, जैसे मैंने कहा कि पॉपुलेशन सेंसस जो होता है वो सेंसस ही मेथड के थ्रू आप काउंट करते हो. तो इस वजह से यहाँ पे जो आइटम्स होते हैं, यानी द ओवरऑल फिगर्स विच आर अ पार्ट ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन, विच आर अ पार्ट ऑफ योर स्टडी, ये बहुत लार्ज होती है. Okay, so this was all about the merits and the suitability of census matter. We'll continue with some other topic.